is going? Hold on, guys.
RDTDaily.com presents a Tarabuster with comedian Tara Devlin.
All right. What the hell is going on? Hi, guys. I am happy to see you all over at youtube.com/C for channel/Tarabuster. We're having, yes, haiku in the chat. What a freak of a week. Yes, and we're going to talk about it. And thank you, Jim, for your super chat right out of the gate. I appreciate it. Jim, also a moderator, doing, I got a haiku and Jim at the gates. They are very fair, but they are firm. That's what I heard. So, all right, great. Looking good, sounding good. Thank you so much. All right, my friends. Let's see. This is Tarabuster, Unapologetic Liberal Talk. We meet here. We have our Friday night gathering. And there goes Mark, another moderator in the chat room. So everybody better behave. Because we got 3 mods in the chat. So nice to see you, Mark. And all right, so we meet here every Friday evening. This is our regular time around in this vicinity. So I appreciate your flexibility. I am a little late right now. And that's because I just couldn't, time. There's so much going on. And the time, it's, the tyranny of the clock. So, all right. So if you can become a patron, please do at patreon.com/Tara Devlin. That helps keep the show going and hopefully growing if we get enough patrons. One day soon, we'll have a daily show at a set time. Otherwise, we do this Friday show, and then we'll do a show during the week. I really do hope to do more, but I'm only one person, and there's only so many hours in the day. So, and my producer is a cat. And where is the producer? I'll show you. Let me see. I gotta open this camera. That's the cat cam. It's obviously not white balanced. There's Tara Jr. He's sleeping peacefully in the chair. Okay. So let's not wake him up. At least give him some time. He needs a nap from all the producing he's been doing. So, all right, listen. I just gotta say, you support the Tarabuster sponsors, APS Radio News in particular. That is another independent media station. And, very happy to be a part of the APS Radio News lineup. So please check APS Radio News out and tell Charlie, the founder and chief cook and bottle washer at APS Radio News, tell Charlie that Tara sent you. All right, guys? Yes, and thank you, Errol. That's very nice of you to remember my birthday on the 27th of December. How you do that is impressive to me. I really do appreciate that, Errol. That really means a lot to me. That people, that means people are paying attention. You know what I'm saying? And we will have a show probably that night because it'll be my birthday show. Okay? Maybe I don't know. We'll see what happens. I don't want to say. Let's see. Okay, well, I don't know. I feel like I'm forgetting things. Well, you know where to find the show. If you can, give the show a good review on iTunes. And nobody likes, this is not just a show about plugs. So let's get going. And it does help when you give the show a good review. If you can't support the show financially, that's a way to do it. And tell your friends. I also, if you are I do have to update the patron page. I've been telling you that. So it's a little bit out, it's a little stale. It's out, but it still works. I just need to update, I need to update the giveaways or whatever. And maybe, I don't know, pare it down to, it's just a few levels or something. I don't know what the hell. But if you are a supporter, please, if you like, become a patron. But if you're a supporter, send me an email and would like a mug. This is what I'm trying to say, but the words just won't come out of my mouth. If you would like a mug, a Tarabuster mug, you can send me an email at tarabustermedia@gmail.com. with your name and address, and I'll send you a mug, all right? A Tarabuster mug. It's not like I got, it's for supporters, okay, guys? It's not like I'm in the friggin' mug business or something. So, but if you are a supporter, you do deserve some swag, especially the patrons. So, all right, guys, what do we want to talk about first? I guess, I don't know, that maybe Kyrsten Sinema. There are a couple of things. I wanted to talk about that bitch crying. These Republicans, well, I'll just start there since it came out of my mouth. Did you see, of course, good news. The Democrats did something correct. They got out in front of the the corrupt Supreme Court, going after same PP marriage contracts, legal contracts, and passed not the Defense of Marriage Act. It was the Respect Marriage Act, which is the total opposite of what happened years ago, the Defense of Marriage Act, and which it's kind of sickening to. I am in the LGBTQ community, but my entire it sucks really being gay in general. It just sucks being in a targeted minority group because you really do have to do a lot of work on yourself, and that's why. It all, because you have to overcome not just you have to overcome the entire society, not the whole society, of course, but the society's bullshit that they heap upon you. And when you're a young person and you may not have the same, get to the point where and that's one of the good things about getting older. You do get to a point where you're like, I don't give a shit what people think. But when you're young, that's really not the case. So we know the statistics for gay young people trying to commit suicide, or trans people suicides. And of course, especially now, trans people being targeted by morons and violent Republicans. I know I repeat myself, but you have to overcome that too. And it's just so exhausting for to be constantly targeted by these fuckers. And by that, I mean Republicans and conservatives, really. Who, there's something wrong with them, because I often ask myself, do Republicans ever tire being on the wrong side of history? Right? How we end the show, right? We're on the right side of decency, dignity, democracy. We're on the right side of history. We are. We are on the right side of decency, dignity, democracy. Don't they ever get tired of being being behind the everything, because in the future, people will look back on the Republican Party. They will look back with, just appalled the way we look at Nazis. Well, most people look at Nazis, I should say, not many of the Republicans, of course, right? Well, why am I getting this dinging in my ears? No, I thought I fixed that. I'm getting emails and it's dinging on my phone and in my headset, but I thought I changed that. Anyway, whatever, who cares? So I found it, and it became viral. I'm sure you probably saw the clip of that lady, the congressperson, crying, literally tearing up, because the House and Senate, they were poised to pass same PP legal contracts. What does it matter if it's a marriage contract? Anyway, hold on. We'll be right back. Tarabuster. So here's the lady. I'll play the clip in case you missed it. This Republican, her name is Vicky. What's her name? Vicky Hartzler. Well, I gotta wonder about Vicky, right? What's wrong with you, Vicky? Let's just play it so everyone who hasn't seen it already, we can catch you guys up. So here we go. Here's Vicky. Yeah, she's got the power. She's a congressperson. She ran for office. She got elected. Now she's on the hall of the House, and her words are being recorded, not just for YouTube or the Tarabuster show, but for posterity. They're all going into the record. It's going into U.S. history. So anybody, for time immemorial, will be able to refer to what Vicky said about for two people of the same peepees forming a legal contract.
Mr. Speaker, I'll tell you my priority. Protect religious liberty. Protect people of faith, and protect Americans who believe in the true meaning of marriage.
Oh, my God.
I hope and pray that my colleagues will find the courage to join me in opposing this misguided and this dangerous bill.
Dangerous. I hit back. Dangerous. How come Vicky never tears up about the fact that, millions of Americans declare medical bankruptcy, or kids, going hungry, or, we could go down the list, or the life expectancy in the country going down, or, we could just tick off all of the things that Vicky doesn't cry over. Or being the most incarcerated nation on earth, that landed the free. And everything that the savior, that she pretends to worship, everything that Vicky has been instructed by her savior to do is never makes the list of the more important things, that are dangerous. It's more dangerous that the American people can't save $400 than it is that Vicky can't what? She can't what? I mean, really, what? How is it infringing on her life in any way, shape, or form, or any religious person's life? Right? It doesn't interfere with a religious person. If that's your religion, that's the other thing I was thinking when I was watching this bitch. If your religion depends on you discriminating or hating a certain group of people because you don't like them, you just don't like them, some But there was one sentence, I think it says in the Old Testament about a man not laying with another man or something like that. But it says a lot more. In fact, Jesus also mentioned again and again and again about lending money at interest, right? Usury. Never said a thing about gay people. And in fact, we went through the Bible story about Jesus being called by a Roman centurion to please come heal my, my lover, basically. Right? And that's what a lot of biblical scholars understand it to be. So, not that I'm a biblical scholar, but I did go to CCD instruction. Okay, there you go. I know a little bit about it. But the fact that I don't understand what kind of a tiny bullshit religion do you have if that's your holy obligation, making sure that two people who are sharing the same blip of time with you, Vicky, and happen to have the same peepees, if they can form a marriage contract, then Vicky is somehow under attack. It's dangerous. What's dangerous? They should be embarrassed. This is what is so upsetting, and it's ridiculous. It really is ridiculous. We have to kind of look at it we have made progress, right? And people like Vicky. See, if this was a video that we were playing that this was 20 years ago, and it would kind of fit. It would make more sense. But now it looks even more ridiculous because they are so on the wrong side of history, on the wrong side of everything, on the wrong side of life, on humanity. It's incredible. Right. Winston says, I feel bad for Vicky's kid. I feel bad for I feel bad for Vicky, really. Like, she lives what a small life she has. What a small faith, right? Her faith is so important to her. This faith in this mythical cloud being is so important to her that she does absolutely no work that matters. She doesn't work on herself. She doesn't go into her own spiritual condition. She looks outside. She looks at what other people are doing. And that's the basis of her spirituality, which means she's probably a miserable bitch. If your spirituality depends on you looking around at what your neighbors are doing, then you are the poorest, smallest. Yeah, in fact, you have the poorest and smallest deity one could ever concoct in their freakish minds, right? The Buddhist saying. How is it? I'm trying to remember. The Nichiren Daishonin said something about some parable about the person who, you don't get rich counting someone else's wealth, right? It's like the person who counts someone else's wealth and never earns a coin, something like that. I know I'm butchering it, but if that's your religion. Your religion depends on if someone, it doesn't even have to be anybody is forming a legal contract with someone who has the same PP. I mean, what a sick, twisted worldview these people have. And you know what? I'm really tired of having to, or of everyone having to be like, oh, well, that's your faith. Your faith is shit. I'm sorry, Vicky. You really have a crap religion. If that's your religion, that your religion depends on you not liking what somebody else does. That's not hurting anybody. I'm not saying it's they're not murdering somebody. They're not robbing people. They just want to live their fucking lives. Hold on. We'll be right back. And, Vicky, I have to say, Vicky was, I think she was in trouble with the law herself. They're very sick people. You understand that. All you got to do is scratch the surface on any Republican, and you will find. It's like opening a Pandora's box of geeks and freaks and haints and taints and ghosts of the Gilded Age. Let's see. Vicky Hartzler, arrest? Did she get arrested? Let's see. I thought let me see. I thought she stole her mother's Social Security checks. Right? It makes sense because they're all about money. I thought Jesus was talked all about how, giving up your money and going to follow him and everything. He didn't say, give your money to the poor and go, let's go bash some gays, right? Let's see, security. But it's not surprising, right? Let's see. Vicky Hartzler. Am I wrong there? I thought she was, let's see, Social Security. Criminal record, maybe? I thought I heard this somewhere. That's why I need an actual producer that isn't a cat. Right. Anyway, if somebody can look that up. I thought, am I wrong? I thought I heard that somewhere. That she was... Oh, wait. Maybe I'm right. I don't know. Anyway. Congresswoman cries while begging colleagues to vote down same-sex marriage bill. The Missouri Republican Vicky Hartzler shed actual tears as she that's the thing. We just watched her choke up. And I never see Republicans choke up about anything that we should be weeping about. When do Republicans cry? They cry. I know that a billionaire, Lee something or other, I remember him, he cried on CNBC when there was a possibility that he might have to pay 2% more in tax. And I'm not exaggerating. It was 2%, right? Billionaire cries. What's his name? He's now known as the crying billionaire. Leon Cooper. That's his name. So, let's see. Missouri Republican. And, okay. Who puts these people in office? Who says, let's send Vicky to Congress? You know what I mean? This is why it's baffling to me sometimes that I live in this country. Like, for example, even in Georgia, we did, thank goodness, we won Georgia. The normal people prevailed. But you know how many people, millions of people, a lot of friggin' people voted for Herschel Walker. That disgrace, that person that shouldn't even be near the halls of power in any way, shape, or form, who can barely form a sentence. And they said, yeah, send the guy who is the hypocrite of course, that's all they are. With the who doesn't take care of his children, who has multiple kids by multiple women that the kids he doesn't take care of at all, but lies about. Let's set the serial liar, the person who cannot form a coherent sentence. Oh God, everybody's ringing me now. Let's send him. Send Herschel. Because he's what? He's the best you got? I mean, it's embarrassing. Wouldn't you be embarrassed? It's like when you give somebody a reference, right? If you don't refer somebody to, let's say a friend. Hey, do you know somebody who can blah, blah, blah? You try to send them the best people because it's a reflection on you. So why would you want to send somebody who is a complete fraud, a moron, someone who can barely form a sentence and is concerned about absolute bullshit like werewolves and vampires? A joke? Why would you send that person to represent you in any fashion? It's baffling to me. But there were a lot of people who agreed. They voted for him because it's all about power, you see. That's what it is. And that's the thing with, we'll talk about Kyrsten Sinema. She's as fucking tedious as the day is long. But yeah, well, she got the attention she craved. That's what she was afraid of. There was the attention was not on her. I mean, she is sold out. She is, really sucking on the teat of big pharma and banksters. When the banksters don't want to pay tax, they go, or anything. If the banksters fear that the dumb sheeple might be thrown some sort of a lifeline, they call that basic bitch Kyrsten Sinema. So she's, plus we'll talk about her, but she didn't want to get primaried. That's the other thing. She is loathed, and with good reason. And she's so, oh my God, to me, it's like a rake on a chalkboard when I listen to her and I see her. She is a fraud. I don't get it. But when there are some people who listen to her bullshit, and they buy it, I guess. They think she's sincere. They think, it's the fact that she is a big pharma's bitch that stands in the way of lower drug prices and $15 minimum wages and anything that helps the American people, just the working class. That's all a coincidence to the fact that she is a recipient of this money. That's just the coincidence, right? I mean, God, what a fucking self-serving bitch. And the other thing is it's, I don't know, whatever. It's just that you get elected as a Democrat, right? Who the fuck are you to change parties, right? Who are you? It's not you, bitch. The people elected a Democrat. They elected a member of a party. Who are you? She's like, I'm doing this for the people of Arizona. Well, the people of Arizona worked their tails off to elect a Democrat, bitch. They gave money to a Democrat. And you just, it's all about me. That's what it is. I mean, all right, we'll get to her, but on the floor of the House, Hartzler pleaded with her colleagues to reject the bill to preserve what she perceives as traditional marriage. How is expanding the franchise in any way, effing shape, or form against your friggin' traditional marriage, you dumb bitch? How? It is in no way is it. In no effing way. But it's just watching them cry, watching this bitch cry. We've seen Republicans cry before. When do they cry? They cry when the American people win. When America wins, Republicans cry. They either cry or they whine. Just like they're whining about Brittney Griner, right? They never said a goddamn thing when Trump allowed, Paul Whelan to be taken. But we'll get to that as well, right? But now, all the damn sudden. And that's the way it is. I remember what John Boner used to cry all the time. What was he crying about? Oh, he cried when, I think, I remembered him. He didn't cry when he was confronted about passing out tobacco lobby checks on the floor of the House. He didn't cry then, but, they cry when they get caught. Or, what is this bitch? What is her damage? That's the other question we really need to get to the bottom of. What is her damage? How sick are you? If you are crying, your sky spook doesn't give a shit about what you do on the inside. Hold on, we'll be right back. Uh-oh, I see the camera flashing to that picture of green pastures or something. That means something's wrong with the camera. Like either the cable is loose or it's gonna. Anyway, hopefully it won't start. It won't happen again. I did restart the computer before I started the show, so. But I mean, if you're, I don't get it, guys. I don't get it. Your religion doesn't ask you to do any work on yourself to make yourself a decent human being to other human beings. It wants you to point fingers at somebody else's life that has nothing to do with you. People who are living their lives and want to live that fucking life together. This blip of time that we share with Vicky Hartzler. She wants to make sure that you don't have the same rights. That everybody doesn't have the same rights. Because her giant invisible man says that he doesn't like it. And of course it's a he. But her faith in this giant invisible man. I mean, that is your giant invisible man. I mean, it's so baffling to me. Of all the secrets of the universe, it's you know it all. I know every hair on your head. The invisible man says, and but he gives a shit about whether people of the same peepee have a legal contract and want to spend their lives together. That somehow interferes with Vicky's faith for whatever fucking reason. I don't get it. That is a very flimsy faith, and I'm sick of having to give respect to something that is so just so distorted. And because you believe it, you have a faith in a giant man being in a cloud, or wherever the hell he lives, in a mansion. He has a big mansion. In my father's house, there are many rooms in the mansion or something. You have it is the height of arrogance too. To think. Vicky thinks that she knows what this giant invisible cloud being wants. I mean, they have a very sick cloud being who they worship for whatever reason. I mean, he doesn't do anything. He is pretty much indifferent to the things that actually matter. And if you could say, okay, well, that's why, the invisible cloud man gives you free will. But so those of the faith in the invisible cloud being, like Vicky, what they do with their faith is attack other people who are doing nothing. They're not attacking the greedy or the people who need to be called to the carpet. They never have a thing to say about that. Or, I would have more respect for people like Vicky if they, and their faith, if it actually mattered in some form, that if it actually made the world a better place. But what is she doing? Does her faith in this invisible sky spook elevate anybody? It doesn't even elevate Vicky. It turns her into a old hag, a joke. It turns her into what? She's not somebody to admire. She's a joke. I mean, she's not somebody that people are like, yeah, Vicky is great. She's really helpful. She's really making the world a better place. What the hell is she doing with this sky spook? That's what I can't stand about these Republicans and I just can't take and Democrats do. They do the same thing, everybody, God bless us, God bless America, God bless, God. What, enough with this sky spook. If you believe in the God, I wish they would just take their own sky spook's advice and go pray in their closets to the sky spook. Right? Do something for other people for a change. Instead of pointing your fingers out, they're not pointing their fingers and saying, this is bad, murder is bad. They're saying two people who want to live together for this blip of time, they're bad because they have the same fucking peepees. It is the stupidest thing that we all have to be like, oh, well, we need to have a religious exemption. So let's say my religion, which, doesn't, but let's say for the sake of argument, it's like, but let's say my religion said, my giant sky spook told me that, I don't know who, people born with green eyes were horrible and must be, I don't know, they must be left out. They must be second-class citizens. We cannot allow people with the same green eyes or the same colored eyes form a legal contract, because my sky spook told me that. Somehow it doesn't say anything in the sky spook's ancient book of fables, but okay, it says more about things like it will be harder for a rich man to go through the eye of a needle than or easier for a rich man to go through the eye of a needle than to get into heaven. It talks all about how rich people are a disgrace, how they should be ashamed to die with all their wealth. And now how Jesus didn't go and turn over the tables in the marriage fucking license office, right? He went to the temple and turned over the table of the people like Vicky, who had missed the point completely. And that's what is so, I'm just tired of these religious nuts. I'm not saying everybody who's religious is not. I practice Buddhism. That's a religion, but it's not, there's no sky spooks involved, but okay. it's I'm not completely devoid. But I'm also not arrogant enough to think that I know all the secrets of the universe. You see, that's what is so offensive about people like Vicky as well. They think that their God is just like them. Right? And that is the height of arrogance, that they have a God who looks like them and is obviously has the same prejudices as they do and has the same hang-ups and he really is like Trump in a lot of ways. He needs his ass kissed constantly, right? He's a very jealous God, right? He's a very angry God. He's a very vengeful God. He wipes out the earth, and but he loves you. That's the old George Carlin joke, right? But he loves you. It makes absolutely no sense. But okay, let's all have faith in this invisible being onto which we can heap all our bigotries and prejudice. But if you actually, it's only because certain people are allowed to be targeted, if women, of course, and gays and trans people. So, but if another religion said that white men were not, capable of having any power, they should be second-class citizens. What do you think the Republican, would we all have to be deferential to that kind of shitty faith? A faith in a being? It would be so obvious that you're just excusing your own petty prejudices by projecting them on this invisible being. So, but that's what Vicky's doing. I mean, and what does your faith? What does your faith give you? Vicky, it makes you look like an idiot. It turns you into a meme where everybody laughs at you, and now you will go down in history as somebody that when future generations will also laugh at Vicky, right? Hold on, I'll be right back. This is Tara Devlin. But Vicky, and the other thing is, with these effing Republicans, they have relatives. I mean, everybody knows gay people. That was one of the things when I was a young gay and I was in gay rights and gay activist organizations like Queer Nation. I was in Queer Nation. I was in ACT UP, and it was a big debate about outing people, right? Outing. And at the time, Jodie Foster was in the closet. I remember that whole thing. People, they were going around the city and putting up posters of closeted gay celebrities and well-known figures. And it said, in the tradition of the Absolute Vodka ad, it said absolutely queer. And there was, Jodie Foster's face, or I can't remember who else was on there. It was a bunch of them. And there was a big debate about outing. And it was because, and I don't know, I'm still kind of on the fence about it, but it was also, but, whatever. It was about, the debate was the more the people understand that gays are everywhere. We are everywhere. Then they can no longer discriminate. And we see that as the truth, right? The more gay people became just part of everyday life, it's not a big deal anymore. Nobody cares except Vicky, right? And these archaic throwbacks to times we left in history's trash pile. And this is the same thing that's going on with trans people, because they have to kick down on somebody, right? That's the way the Republicans are. They'll never, ever, well, that's conservatism. They're never, in the vanguard of humanity. They were always pulling up the rear and also like nipping at us like little, well, they really are the albatrosses around our national necks. But they eventually come along, whether it's kicking and screaming or not. But Vicky, it's like you're a real straggler, Vicky. Aren't they embarrassed for themselves? But I guess not. But anyways, so the reason I'm bringing that up is because of everybody knows somebody who's gay now. You see it on television. It's not a big deal. There's no longer symbolic annihilation of the gay community. And that's what's happening with trans people now, too. That's why people are like, well, what is this? Now all of a sudden everybody's trans. It's not that. It's just that more people are feeling comfortable enough to come out rather than kill themselves or remain in the closet, remain miserable in the closet for the rest of their lives. They realize they're not alone, and there's, that's good. But Republicans never make it easy on an outlier group, right? They're not the ones that are embracing difference or diversity, please, but they all know somebody who's gay, and Vicky has a nephew who's gay, but that doesn't matter. I'm sure she has more there must be. She just knows of one nephew. There are others, trust me. Nephews, nieces, who knows? Vicky herself, right? Because somebody who gives a shit unless you got issues, Vicky. So here's Vicky's nephew who responded on TikTok.
Today, a United States Congresswoman, my Aunt Vicky, started crying because gay people like me can get married.
I hope and pray that my colleagues will find the courage
Oh my God.
to join me in opposing this misguided and this dangerous bill.
Dangerous.
So despite coming out to my aunt this past February, I guess she's still just as much as a homophobe.
Let's be clear. Obergefell is not in danger.
Shut
but
up,
people and
Vicky.
institutions of faith are.
Really?
But Vicky, that's not right. Institutions of faith like religious universities are not being silenced. They're being empowered by the U.S. government to discriminate against tens of thousands of LGBTQ students because of religious exemptions, but they still receive federal funding.
The bill's implications: submit to our ideology or be silenced.
Silence?
It's more like you want the power to force your religious beliefs onto everyone else. And because you don't have that power, you feel like you're being silenced. But you're not. You're just gonna have to learn to coexist with all of us. And I'm sure it's not that hard.
Well, it is for some people. Wait, what else? I wanted to play that again. Hold on.
Mr. Speaker, people of faith, and protect Americans who believe in the true meaning of marriage.
How is it so even that? Protect the people who believe in the true meaning of a marriage. You don't have to have a fucking gay marriage, Vicky. No one is forcing you to gay marry anybody. You don't have to marry a person of the same pee-pee. No one is, this is not the part of the bill.
I hope and pray that my colleagues will find the courage to join me in opposing this misguided and this dangerous bill.
And who is it dangerous for, Vicky? It's dangerous for people like you who are what? Unable to gay bash openly? Or, I mean, you could still do that, Vicky. But we get to have a reaction to it, you know? So if you're, and it just really, I mean, like we're saying, if your religion is based on hating other people because of who they are or what they or who they want to marry, who they want to form a legal contract with, you have a very shit religion. Your religion sucks, and why do I have to be respectful of your religion because you believe in a fucking sky spook that is just as bigoted and tiny as you are. It's, to me, it's like enough of this, right? But they're always the victims. This is part of. I mean, we know that Christianity is about 80% of the American population declares themselves or identifies as Christian. They're not under attack, and it's quite the opposite. It's the people who they attack who are under attack, right? Gay people, trans people. They just don't. They just haven't learned yet that you can't legislate human beings out of existence. We have always been here, and we always will, no matter what, Vicky. No matter what. Just as I know, even in the future, I'm sure there'll be disgusting Vicky-like bigots pointing at their sky spook and saying, no, it's not me. I'm not the one. I'm filled with love. I love my neighbor. I just don't love the sin. It's my sky spook telling me. Yeah, that's the other thing. Love the sinner, not the sin. Fuck you, Vicky. What is more sinful than being a greedy bitch in the Republican Party who points the fingers at people who just want to live their lives? And what have you done, Vicky? Right? Does Vicky bring anything to the table? Does she bring love? Does she help people? What does she do, right? She protects. I'm sure she's a Trumpanzee. She must have voted for that con man, that greedy ghost of, the Gilded Age, if just to put it mildly, that crook, with the criminal organization and who isn't even a decent human being. I mean, the tax cheat, the draft dodger, the dictator envy and con man. That's who Vicky votes for, right? But if Vicky ever did anything decent, I might be like, okay, well, there's her religion. I don't want. That's the other thing with these conservatives, these fake Christian, homophobes. They don't tell me how much you are a person of faith. Why would you have to tell me? It should be written, or it should be obvious in your behavior, right? But no, Vicky, I'm sure, votes against health care, votes against living wages, votes against anything that makes a person's life a little less miserable. Well, she wants you to meet Jesus quicker. I guess that's why she's a Republican. All right. We're back. This is Tara Devlin. Nice to see you. If you feel like hanging out with the greatest Americans on earth, go to youtube.com/C for channel/Tarabuster. And thank you, Roy, for your super chat. Yes, Tommy Smith on the chat says Anita Bryant reincarnated. Exactly. I mean, it's old. It was old then. And they never evolve. So shut the fuck up, Vicky. But she's not the only one of these Republicans. I don't understand how anybody can deal with them. And we've talked about this before. The way I take it personally. Some people are like, oh, I don't want to talk about politics. It's not personal. Yes, you goddamn right it's personal. You vote Republican, you're voting for Vicky. People like Vicky. You know, you're a member of my family and you vote Republican. Well, but basically you're saying that you think, you know, I'm shit, that I shouldn't have the same rights as you. And I don't, you know, I do take that personally. I'm sorry. Why wouldn't I? Why? It is personal. It's not like, oh yeah, we can agree to disagree. I'm a fiscal, and that's the other thing. The you know, the Republicans who say, oh well, I'm a socially liberal. I just like the fiscal. What fucking fiscal? Republicans suck at that too. And we have the math to prove it. The economy sucks when Republicans are in charge. All they do is make the rich richer. They just concentrate wealth, and nothing ever trickles down, right? And that's the other thing. Well, you know, why would it trickle down? What are you going to do with a trickle, right? What are you going to do? You can't even. It's not a deluge. I can't talk. Not even a hurricane. It's gonna pour down. No, it's just gonna trickle all. So you'll be like, I'm parched. Can I have a trickle? I hate these people, but that's how much they have so deep programmed the American people to. They've deprogrammed the American people out of their dignity. Right? We're supposed to be like, that's all we're worth, I suppose. That when they say, oh, it'll all trickle down, okay. Another 30 years. Maybe we'll give it another 30. We've waited, well, it's more than 30 now. It's about 40. We've waited 40 years for the trickle to start. Maybe another 40. It'll start trickling a little bit. Oh, yes, it's trickling out. When it's trickling out, you don't even need a fucking umbrella when it's trickling out. You know, that's how much they have programmed the American people to hate themselves. We're just like, oh yes, the trickle, that's fine. Don't worry. I don't need anything. I will do it myself. I'll pick myself up by my bootstraps. And I will marry a billionaire. I'll just pull myself up, and marry a billionaire. Or I'll get my mansion in heaven. So here's another one, Glenn Thompson. They're all the same. I don't know how anybody deals with them. All right. This is the other thing. Oh, it's not personal. You fucking damn right it's personal. And if somebody in my family was like a Vicky, right? Had the power to either say you're a full actualized equal citizen or not, and then they chose the latter, I would be a little bit pissed. But Vicky's not alone. Here's another one. GOP rep who attended his gay son's wedding opposes same-sex marriage bill again. Glenn Thompson wasn't won over by the religious liberty changes. See, fuck you and your religious liberty. Really. What about the liberty to live? I can't say it or stress it enough. Of course, we don't hear the Democrats. We're not at that point yet. Maybe we'll get there. Sort of like the way we got there with Democrats finally saying the F word, fascism. So maybe we'll get there with normal people finally just standing up to this fake ass religion nonsense. That I'm not saying that, hey, if you got a religion that's enhancing your life and actually adds to society, good. I wish that you were really into Jesus. I really do. Because then we wouldn't have to fight you for basic human rights and basic general welfare shit. We wouldn't have to fight you about taxing the rich or health care or living wages, right? Retirement security, or the education policies that actually, reduce abortion, for one thing, if that's what you care about, or make I don't know, the middle class, build the middle class instead of just the saying the middle class. But yeah, I would be. I'm all for. If you were actually into Jesus, I think we would agree on a lot of things, But their only holy obligation is gay bashing. That's their sacrament, gay bashing. So how is that your fucking religion? Your religion is shit, and I'm sick of everybody having to kowtow to it. And I'm sure we'll get there. I mean, we will in the future, not too long in the future. There will be some normal people that will say, you know what, if your religion demands that you discriminate against segments of society, for what? For your faith? I mean, then your religion sucks, and we don't have to consider it at all. We'll consider it what it is. Nothing but an albatross around your neck, too. It doesn't bring anything to the table. What if I had a religion that said, we know we have religion that say that women are shit. That is all culture, too. That's another thing that drives me crazy. So it's like in The Handmaid's Tale, Saudi Arabia, aka Saudi Arabia, that that's culture. If there was a culture that literally turned men into nothing but, I don't know, symbolically annihilated by putting them in potato sacks with slits for eyes, I think the entire world would be in an uproar. They would send in NATO, right? They would send in the UN would send in a humanitarian force. Why can't I talk? Hold on. We'll be right back. All right. This is Tara Devlin, Unapologetic Liberal Talk. Okay, so GOP rep who attended gay son's wedding opposes same-sex marriage bill again. New protections for religious organizations weren't enough for Representative Glenn Thompson to support the Respect for Marriage Act on Thursday. Thompson's no vote on the earlier version of the bill caused an uproar in July after it came out that he had attended his son's wedding to another man just days within the vote. I don't know. How? That's your father? You poor bastard. Thompson told the Huffington Post, or HuffPost, in September that he would reconsider his position as Senate Republicans made changes to the bill, which would require the House to hold another vote, but the changes didn't win him over. Individuals have the freedom and the right to choose who to grow old with in life, Thompson said in a prepared statement. However, if you have the same pee-pee and a religious fucker can't shame you in their daily prayers or whatever, you could still shame people in your daily prayers. But I really want you to look at yourself. If you're on your knees saying, "Dear Jesus and his big invisible man on the cloud, Father, please do not let two PPs of this, get together in a contract, please. And I swear, and also, can I have a pony? What will, if that's what you're praying, then you really need to stop and ever have a moment of clarity and say to yourself, what the fuck am I doing? What kind of bullshit religion is this? My religion depends on saying, it's like, what is the difference between that and Nazis, right? Who believe that Jewish people are the cause of evil on the earth. Like, what is the fucking difference? Except you couch one in, oh, that's my giant invisible man told me. And the other, some other douchebag told me. What, am I wrong? What if your religion said that, my invisible man said that Jewish people are the cause of all the evil on earth, and I must therefore discriminate against them. Everyone would know, everyone would be appalled, rightfully so, and know what filth your religion was. But that's the thing. I just never see these so-called Christians, these Christian conservatives, ever doing anything that their Jesus ever told them to do. I would be shocked if I saw them actually following the instructions of the guy that came right from the Sky Spook and said, I'm here to tell you, do this and do that. He said, what did he say? Go visit people in prison. Love thy neighbor. If someone slaps you, turn the other cheek. Right? What else? He gave out free health care. He hung around with a bunch of dudes and a woman. Oh, that's a whole other story. Oh, because, we know the early church edited the Bible to take out the gospel according to Mary Magdalene because, they didn't want women to think that they had any value, right? But anyway, whatever. People are, and we're still fucking having to genuflect to this bullshit. This bullshit religion that Vicky has? No, I'm sorry, Vicky. Your religion sucks. And it's a joke. Like you. You're a meme now, Vicky. And you are a disgrace. You're a disgrace to anybody who actually has whatever. You don't need faith to be a decent person. Or whatever. Faith in a Sky Spook. That comes naturally to some people and not so naturally to others. And funny enough, all the ones who suck at being a human being, like Trump and the 99% of the Republican Party, are horrible people who are greed-centered. And isn't that the one of the 7 deadly sins? What about the, what do you call it? The 10 Commandments, too. Thou shalt not steal. Oh, yeah. They worship this fake-ass Sky Spook who's a joke, who's just a giant asshole bigot like they are, and they make a fucking con man, a greed-centered ghoul, a filthy pathological liar who wants all the worldly goods, all the earthly rewards that he can shove into his narcissistic lie hole. That's their their standard bearer. I don't know. How do you, and then they're going to tell me they're people of faith because they fucking don't like gays. They don't like certain people, you see, who, not even people that we should all not like. like serial killers or something, right? Or pedophiles or something like that. They're talking about people just going about their lives, trying to live in spite of the world that people like Vicky create. In spite of the hostility people like Vicky create in the guise of her phony ass bullshit religion, then, people are still living, they're still gay, they're still getting together with others, they're still trying to live their lives. Vicky, I guess God kind of likes gays since he keeps making so many. He likes trans people. Maybe, that's the other thing. The trans, trans, your pee-pee. Well, where is this quote I told you? My nibbling posted. I gotta find it. Maybe God made trans people so to give you an opportunity not to be a fucking dirtbag, right? Maybe to give you the opportunity to just love people. I don't know. To be like, okay, I don't get it. Well, you don't have to get it, douchey. It doesn't affect you. I don't understand. You have a pee-pee, one pee-pee, and then you say you are of the other pee-pee? Who fucking cares? Live and let live. Isn't that what your fake the Jesus you pretend to worship said? Something like that? Well, I know he said something along those lines. Love thy neighbor, right? Why don't you do what he says? I don't get it. I don't understand how you call yourself now. And I'm supposed to be like, oh, well, I guess we are nothing and Vicky is everything because her faith, she's crying. Look, she's so sincere. She must cry. She's crying because she really believes that you and me and others who are different shouldn't exist. Okay, Vicky, I get it. Fucking Vicky. Vicky. Wait a minute, I'm trying to... Oh, Junior. Now he's good. Look who's awake. Look who is awake. Anyway, I'm looking for this quote. Junior, come on. Look at this shit. Oh, the camera's not on. I'm showing you something you cannot see. Look what I have to deal with. He's like literally tapping me. Yes, I know. I hear you, honey. I know. What do you want me to do? Oh, here it is. I found it. Honey, hold on a second. Just come back and I will read you this beautiful quote. That's what a tease is called. All right. This is Tara Devlin. Okay, so we're talking about Vicky, who cried about gays forming a legal contract. But here's this quote. Julian K. Jarboe wrote, God blessed me by making me trans for the same reason he made the wheat but not the bread and fruit but not wine, because he wants humanity to share in the act of creation. Isn't that beautiful? Well, maybe that is, Vicky. Maybe, won't you be surprised when you meet the sky spook and he tells you that you completely missed the point, Vicky, of your faith. It wasn't to kick down on other people. It was to be a nice person. Be nice. Be decent. Shut your mouth. Move on. Live your life. Leave people alone. If you don't understand, shut the fuck up. Maybe learn something. But why don't you ask your nephew? Right? But these people, they have no shame, you see. It's like the father who goes to his gay son's gay marriage wedding or wedding ceremony and then votes against it. It's like, and then he expects, I suppose, his son to just be like, oh, well, no biggie. Junior, what is the problemo? Oh, my God. Do you see what's happening here? What are you doing, June? What can I do for you? I fed you. I fed you. Then I fed you again. So what can I do? I can't feed you 3 times in one night. He needs his own show, I think. Well, you do. You need your own show. Okay. He wants to jump up, but he can't find a way. Oh, Jesus, help me. All right, listen. Let's talk about Kyrsten Sinema. She's a basic bitch. Why not? Where's my Junie June? Tell me that you love me, Junie June. He's here. He's queer. Oh, shit. He knocked the camera over. All right. So, Kyrsten Sinema, oh, well, you know, fuck her. I can't believe. I'm sorry, guys. The show is just flying by. I'm looking at the time. Oh, my God. This is what happens when you're doing a Tarabuster. Please become a patron at patreon.com/TaraDevlin. That helps. Anyway, so here's Kyrsten Sinema became an independent today. F her. Okay? The real reason we all know is that she saw that her power was waning since Raphael Warnock was elected. And, the cameras were going elsewhere. So oh, Jesus. Okay, I got to put him over here. He's stepping on the keyboard. He'll be back, don't worry. So, where is it? Uh-oh, see what I'm saying? Where is it? Kyrsten Sinema. Well, she's a big recipient of drug money, pharma and finance, cash. She stands in the way of everything decent. So we're not, we're always having to kiss her ass and water things down. So it's not really a surprise. But where the heck is it? Come on. I think I do. Maybe did Tara Jr. delete this? Okay, well, here's Sinema's statement. She's so tedious. She writes, There's a disconnect between what everyday Americans want and deserve from our politics and what the political parties are offering. Oh my God. You see, she's the problem with political parties. She's a self-serving, self-seeking narcissist who is the complete monster created by money and politics. That's it. That's it. She is the exhibit. She's the only exhibit A we need. Why we need to get money out of politics, to get rid of people like her. She's not a public servant. She's a narcissist. She always has been. We know her evolution from Green Party to whatever, Bernie Crat to what? A centrist? She goes from fucking Green Party to a centrist. Oh, but she's bisexual. That's the other thing that really annoys me about her. Because that her proclaiming herself as the first bisexual is so Kyrsten Sinema, because it doesn't mean anything. Okay, whoopee doopie. I'm the first bisexual in the Congress. No, you're not, by the way. You're the first out bisexual, but she's not making a commitment anywhere. Commit to something. But she just wants attention. That's all it does. It gives her the attention. It makes her a maverick. No, it doesn't. It makes you exhausting. That's what you are. So she says, I am privileged to represent Arizonans of all backgrounds and beliefs in the U.S. Senate and honored to travel every corner of our state, listening to your concerns and ideas, which you just wipe your ass with, I'm sure, the good ones. The good ideas like get money out of politics and stop sucking on the teat of big pharma. The good ideas like a $15 minimum wage. Everything that was decent, she voted against. She's been the hemorrhoid on our progress. Oh, one of them. While Arizonans don't agree on all issues, we are united in our values of hard work, common sense, and independence. Fuck you, independence. You're not independent. You are a bought out bitch. You're bought. If you were independent, you would not take any money from big pharma or banksters, would you? They wouldn't have you on their speed dial when they wanted to stop progress. But that's you. You're not independence. You see where it's going? We make our own decisions using our own judgment. Who the fuck doesn't? Except Republicans. They just do whatever their con man tells them to do. And if it lines their own pockets, all the better, right? And lived experiences to form our beliefs. Now, I mean, this is such a generalization, too. You all people who live in Arizona are like this. We use your own judgment. Oh, yeah, the judgment that said that we should not have Martin Luther King Day. That's a real fine judgment you got there. Your lived experiences and beliefs. You believe that we need to live in the past. Oh, excuse me, I'm choking on myself. We don't line up to do what we're told. Yeah, that's why we didn't have Martin Luther King Day. Oh, yeah. Oh, man. I can't believe it. I'm sorry, Progressive Voices. The show goes by so fast. Become a patron at patreon.com/Tara Devlin. You can watch the rest of the show at youtube.com/C for channel/Tarabuster, or go to patreon.com/Tara Devlin and iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher, Rokfin, APS Radio News. We will win. We're on the right side of history, decency, dignity, democracy, humanity. We stick together, we win. Help me out, kids. Keep the show going and growing. My name is Tara Devlin. I will see you soon. Patreon.com/Tara Devlin. Sorry, I had to say that one more time. Each day, Arizonans wake up, work, and live alongside people with different views and experiences. Gee, bitch, that sounds like everybody in every state, usually even without thinking about politics. Yeah, that's the problem. They're the ones that are like, I don't think about politics at all. I'm not political at all. I hate all equally. I hate both sides. Both sides. I don't even think about it. I'm not political. You know, like the political idiot. Right? Like the famous Bertolt Brecht quote. The worst illiterate is the political illiterate. Well, those are people who think Kyrsten Sinema is a maverick because they saw something on TV. They think, oh, well, both sides are crazy. They're just so far on the left and so far on the right. You know, the far on the right people think that Hillary Clinton is drinking the adrenochrome harvested from suffering children who are being trafficked via a pizzeria, the basement of a pizzeria that doesn't have a basement. But and the far left, they think that everyone should have health care. With that, that no one, the crazy shit, right? That people shouldn't have to needlessly die without health care. Nutty, out, crazy, left field things. Like, that everyone should earn a living wage when you work, that you should be able to work and in decent working conditions and retire in security and not have to, work till you drop and not have anything to fall back on because everything just went to basic needs, like keeping a roof over your head. But that's just crazy talk. Crazy. The left is just nutty. That thinking that if you get sick, you shouldn't have to go into bankruptcy, or go on GoFundMe to beg for care. That's just nuts, right? And then the other side thinks that, the election was stolen and a con man. Serial bankrupt, tax cheating, draft dodging con man with a fake university and a failed fake university and a failed fake vitamin scam is a great businessman because they saw it on reality TV. That's just crazy, both sides shit, right? But so Kyrsten writes, it's no surprise that Washington, D.C. often fails to reflect that expectation. Everyday Americans are increasingly left behind by the national party's rigid partisanship. No, bitch. There's not rigid partisanship. There's only you, who is a hemorrhoid, and the greedy bastards who break this fucking country because they want to steal. Right? They want to steal our labor, our wealth, our time, the time out of our lives. They just want to suck us dry and spit us out like parasites use a host and then discard. Every day are left behind by national parties. You see what's so cynical about what she's writing is that people see, everybody, in general, a lot of people are just trying to keep their heads above water. They know the system is broken. It's the same cynicism. She's displaying the same cynicism that Trump exploits in a different way. You know, it's the same, knowing that the American people know that the system is rigged against them, and Sinema is exploiting that system. It's like, this is what happens on Fox News every day. They know that there's an anxiety that the American people feel, and they take that anxiety and they say, this is the reason you're feeling that anxiety. This is the reason, even though she's full of shit, just like Fox News is full of shit. So that's why she's such a diabolical bitch, because she's telling people, oh, I see the problem too, but the diagnosis is completely, off into some fucking field, just to be a distraction, of course, so she can continue to reap the benefit of being the bitch of big pharma and banksters. Because, she's like, well, I'll play this maverick card. I won't actually be a maverick that doesn't take money. You're not a maverick if you're nothing but a rapacious, greedy ghost of the Gilded Age. You just got your mouth open like a baby bird, and the banksters who bought politicians and corrupted government are just shoveling and funneling money into your mouth. So you're not a maverick. You're just a boring, basic bitch. That's boring. We have endured that forever and ever. Amen. That's the problem. That's the broken system. Not both sides. Both sides are doing it. It's just extreme. Give me the fucking example. Right? Give me an example. What is extreme on the left? And that's the other thing, and we've talked about it before on the show. This is what the propagandists do. This is what they do on the corporate media. They'll say, oh, no, they'll just throw something out there like this, but they have no examples. That's why I always wish, and it frustrates me beyond whatever, I wish, just push people. Well, give me an example. Give me an example of of something so far left. The partisan. What do the left want? If you say, defund the police. No, okay. There's that defund the police line is not, there's no policy defund the police. No Democrat is calling to actually defund the police. And I know that, what's her name? One of the squad's people said, her name's on the tip of my tongue, but said something about, yes, I still believe in defund the police. But the whole defund the police is the thing that is so annoying to me, and I've said it before, about is just the messaging. The messaging is horrible. It should be fund community policing. That's what that's about. We know that. But it's so sickening because some Democrats don't watch this show and they don't know how to message things effectively. But still, even if you would say, okay, that's the fringe, there's no policy, there's no legislation, not in any part of any country, and of any state, from sea to shining sea, there are no bills defunding the police from the Democrats. That's for sure. In fact, the Democrats funded the police. They gave more money to the police and in the bills that Republicans voted against. So give me a break. And that's the thing. This bitch Sinema, she's just like the rest of them. She's adding to the cacophony, but she doesn't have any solutions. She's not proposing anything. She's not specifying anything. And no one, not AZ Central, the website that hosted her editorial, no one pushes her on this. No one will. You see? The corporate media doesn't. That's not what they're there for. They'll probably do a poll. Who's up in the polls? Does this work in the polls? Will they like the polls? What does this mean for the horse race? That's all they do on the corporate media. What does this mean? Does this mean that, in 2024, because 60% say this, and 40% say that, and 30% say this, and up in a poll, and then give me a poll. I got another poll. Hold on, here comes the poll. Fucking what? Ask her a follow-up. Say, what are you talking about? What is so cuckoo? Give us a policy. Well, tell me what did Sinema vote against? She voted against the very popular policies that the majority of the American people want. That's why she can't specify, because she's not a maverick. She's a basic bitch. I'll say it again. She is same old in a stupid denim vest. She's as basic as they come. That's why she's got to make her hair and wear her whatever. I don't know where she gets her clothes. She looks like a 12-year-old. Not that I'm a fashion plate, but I'm not. I mean, she's somebody who's trying to be different, when she's not. She's the same old problem. Oh, God. It's so infuriatingly tedious. This is what she says. In catering to the fringes, neither party has demonstrated much tolerance for diversity of thought. What's your thought, bitch? Your thought, you have the same old thought. Give me money, and I will do your bidding. That's her thought. Give us an example. If she could, she would, right? But she can't. So bipartisan compromise is seen as a rarely acceptable last resort. Rather than the best way to achieve lasting progress, show me. And I know she likes to talk about the filibuster, how, it's a unique aspect of the Senate that allows for bipartisan compromise. But that, too, is bullshit. The filibuster has never led to compromise. It's only been used as a tool of obstruction. Only ever been used that way, and it's not a thing that was designed as part of the Senate. It's just this unfortunate byproduct of some fucking thing somebody wrote, and it became a rule that can be easily undone if not for basic bought-out bitches like Kyrsten Sinema. Bipartisan compromise, and that's the other thing. This is why there are no examples. It's such a exercise in I can't say that word. I'm trying to say generality. I can't say it. Okay. And then it is. It's like if you were writing a paper for school or college, right? You couldn't write that. You couldn't bring this to your professor because they would say, give me an example. Back it up, bitch. Give me, give me, back up your argument. Prove it. Right? I mean, this is like 101, but it never, it doesn't apply to, obviously, cinema or propagandists and or the corporate media. Same thing. And Republicans, too. Everything is like, it's a Rorschach test. You're just supposed to project whatever thing you fear the most onto her statement. You're supposed to be like, oh yeah, the extremes. You're going to be some average Joe moron who doesn't know anything. I don't like politics. The so-called that, because that's supposed to make you somehow above the fray, even though you don't realize that everything is politics. Everything. From the fact that we don't have health care to the goddamn roads you drive along. You know, people don't understand that. They're like, oh, I like my sister, you know, she's like, taxes, so, or whatever. And then she'll complain about the kids having to pay, or, the high price of college and university. Oh, yeah, it's just, I can't. It's a lot of bills, the college, too expensive. Well, stop fucking voting Republican. It's all connected. But, and it's all, at least, I say, the Democrats aren't perfect, but at least they won't leave people starving in the streets. And there's hope with the Democrats, because there are some Democrats that don't take corporate money. That is one of the qualifications for being a part of the Progressive Caucus. So, it is possible not to be a bought out basic bitch. But if that's your goal in life, like Kyrsten Sinema, she obviously there's something not right with her, but it is infuriating how she, so used people to just do how you go from Green Party to I'm a centrist to now you're the fringe because you're getting paid, bitch. I mean, it's so obvious how your votes, they're not very mavericky when viewed through the lens of your corruption. You're not a maverick. You are the same. You are the effing same as every other greedy politician who is the reason people turn away from politics. Well, that's what they want, though. They want you to be disgusted, and they want you to be like, nothing will change, nothing works, nothing, because they would rather you just take your lumps, die in the field, and don't pester your betters. If you get sick, go on GoFundMe. Fuck it. Don't even think that the government that, supposedly has dictates to promote the general welfare, has anything to do with laying the groundwork of a civilized, decent, middle-class life. That's all up to you alone, even though, most normal, civilized human beings understand that it's all connected. If it's not just you, it's the system, too. So I don't care how much you work, if you can't earn a living wage, there aren't enough hours in the day to have a decent middle-class life. You will always struggle. But that doesn't have to be that way. As we know through history, we know from other examples. And we know that that the rich get richer and corporations get more bloated at the top. And that's all by design. It's not because you're not working hard. It's because the system is rigged and the tax system is rigged for the rich. So they get away with, treating people like nothing but pawns from which or hosts from which to suck profit. And, the government is the thing that's supposed to get in the way and say, no, these are the ground rules. There's a reason we have an economy, and it's not just to make the rich richer. It's to ensure that a certain type of civilization that people fought, bled, and died to entrust to us, not to just ingratiate the fucking people at the top. The king, that's the system we overthrew. But Kyrsten Sinema is just part of that system, and the whole tediousness of her is watching her dance this bullshit dance. And it's insulting for her to think that we're dumb enough to buy it. That's what bothers me. But I know some people are dumb enough to buy it, but I'm sure the majority of people are not stupid, right? Because there are more of us than there are, Trumpanzees and QAnon cultists, they're just more. There are more people who know that she's full of shit. But anyway, most Arizonans believe this is a false choice. When I ran for the U.S. House and the Senate, I promised Arizonans something different. I pledged to be independent and work with anyone to achieve lasting results. Well, what have you achieved? What? You've stood in the way of achieving lasting results. Oh my God. Right? Am I wrong here? No, I'm not. I know I'm not. Oh my God. Look at her face too. This is she tweeted this. Becoming look at me. I'm very pensive about, should I take that bribe? Yes, motherfucker. Of course. Yes, mofo. Of course I'll take that bribe. But look at my very concerned and thoughtful expression about it. Oh, where is it? I lost it. Let's see. Americans are told. Where is it? In catering to the fringes, which she has no examples. Oh, damn it. Stupid thing. I hate when that happens. It moves around. I don't know. In catering to the fringes, neither party has demonstrated much tolerance for diversity of thought. Well, give us an example of your diversity of thought. Huh? Give us an example. What are you thinking? Bipartisan compromise is seen as a rarely acceptable last resort rather than the best way to achieve lasting progress. Yeah, right. Okay. Payback against the opposition party has replaced thoughtful legislating. This is the other thing that is so not upsetting. Well, it is upsetting, but aggravating. Is that show me where the Democrats play payback to Republicans. See, she is adding to the mythology, the professional victim mythology on the right. that they're, you don't see Democrats saying, oh, I'm drinking conservative tears. Ha ha ha. That doesn't happen on the Democratic side. You don't see that much. I'm not that I don't want to drink their tears. I just want them to get health care. It's so what's the bipartisan? So you see Republicans going after Joe Biden. They want to impeach him now. For what? For what? Show me. Oh, well, Perjury Trader Green said she wants to impeach him for bringing Brittney Griner home. And I don't know where the high crime is or misdemeanor is in that, but not for the fact that Paul Whelan was taken under Trump's watch, right? And he did absolutely nothing. Or how about impeach Trump for letting 5,000 Taliban terrorists go? Yeah, okay. But there's no, she's just she's validating the professional victimitis without any examples. Show me. So Trump shouldn't have been impeached for using taxpayer money to strong arm a foreign leader into announcing an investigation on his political rival. That wasn't an impeachable offense. Or he shouldn't have been impeached for fomenting an insurrection for the first time in American history. Two things you voted for. She voted to impeach him. But where is the tit for tat? She's talking about that it's, going back and forth. Well, show me where the Democrats do that. Where they're like, oh, we're going to get you now. Like Republicans, pulling people off committee assignments because the Democrats pulled Perjury Trader Green off of her assignments, which with the validation at the time of Kevin McCarthy because of her anti-Semitic statements and everything else and all her other lunacy. Her love of Nazism. So show me the tit for tat there. But it always comes from the right wing. But it's this both sides. Bullshit again. And she's giving it life, breathing life into it without any examples. This is what drives me insane. Give me an example. Most Arizonans believe this is a false choice. When I ran for the House, blah, blah, blah. I pledged to be independent and work with anyone to achieve lasting results, except you only ever work with banksters, right? To achieve nothing for the American people, to achieve things, to achieve delay. That's what she does. She sets up roadblocks to progress. She makes the time that the American people spend on the other side, on the wrong side of Reaganomics, she increases that time that we will spend there. I promised I would never bend to party pressure, and I would stay focused on solving problems and getting things done. And that's another thing that drives me crazy, that statement. We're going to get things done. Get what things done? Get what things? Like, what? Illegal wars in countries that never attacked us? Or what? What are you getting done? More tax breaks for the 1%? For the crying billionaires who will never have enough? They're so fucking greedy. Because Jesus and all. They believe in Jesus. They never cry about things Jesus was concerned about, but they only cry about paying taxes 2% more. My approach, I love this, the way she blows smoke up her own ass. My approach is rare in Washington and has upset partisans in both parties. Yeah, because we, the Democrats, the normal people, promised certain things to the American people when they elected Democrats, things that have overwhelming popularity, like living wages, less money for drug companies, and more money, less money paying for drugs, paying for prescriptions, or getting goddamn health care, right? Expanding health care, infrastructure, shit like that. It's upset people because I am not bending. No, you're not. You are bending. You're bending over for your big money benefactors. I work proudly with senators in both parties who have similarly rejected political extremes. But give me an example. What extreme? And forged consensus, helping drain some of the poison out of today's politics. You are poison. You are the poison. Kyrsten, you're the poison. Isn't this the poison calling the pot poison? This includes successful laws. I was honored to, whatever, who cares? Rebuilding our country's critical infrastructure, except she took out vital provisions for her big money benefactors, right? Because that's what they do. They call Kyrsten Sinema. We built support in both parties, whatever. I'm looking at the time. The goddamn show is almost over. Americans are more united than the national parties will have us believe. Yes, you're so above it all, while you're sucking on every bribe you can get your hands on. You're so above it all, Kyrsten. Or Kyrsten, whatever the fuck your name is. You stupid, whatever. Yeah, there's two reasons she's leaving the Democratic Party. One is for, she doesn't want to be primaried, and she will be primaried, and the other is for attention. That's it. Kyrsten Sinema takes thousands in campaign contributions from pharmaceutical giants while stalling prescription drug pricing reforms. Yeah, because the American people really like paying the most for drugs of all the industrialized developed nations, don't you think? Her campaign received $500,000 from the pharma industry alone, and the $3.5 trillion spending bill would save the U.S. hundreds of billions on healthcare spending. But the biotech company Amgen gave Sinema $25,000 and is one of her biggest financial backers. That's just one of her greatest hits. Sinema is a pharma favorite in Congress. And they dubbed Sinema. Kaiser Health News has dubbed Sinema pharma's favorite in Congress. She's received other money from PACs run by drug companies and their trade groups, hundreds of thousands of dollars. So, yeah, many prescription drugs made by Amgen have a hefty price tag. Overall, the company made $24.24 billion in sales, which isn't enough, of course, when you're nothing but a greedy ghost of the Gilded Age, haunting our current Gilded Age. And she's also, the super PACs with pharmaceutical industry support have funded ad buys in Arizona for Sinema. Believe it or not. Isn't that crazy? calling her a maverick and all this other shit. It's, let's see, the Consumer Regulatory Affairs, blah, blah, blah. According to the Google's transparency report, political ad for Sinema was paid for by Center Forward, a super PAC dedicated to the election of so-called centrists. In its registration with the Washington, D.C., it has, let's see, the lobbying... Wait. Registration with the Washington, D.C. Consumer Regulatory Affairs Center Forward lists Libby Greer and Cindy Brown from the lobbying firm Forbes Tate Partners as the governors of the board. Greer and Brown are lobbyists for pharmaceutical companies, including Bayer, Gilead Sciences, Eli Lilly, Novartis, Amgen, and Merck & Co. Well, it's all connected. All right, guys, thank you for hanging out on tonight's Tarabuster. This is our Friday night get-together. I want to thank you, Jim and Roy and Richard W., for your super chat. Another great show, Tara. Thank you so much. Please support our sponsors, APS Radio News, and if you can become a patron, please do at patreon.com/TaraDevlin to keep the show going and growing. At least going, okay? Because we will win. We're on the right side of history, decency, dignity, democracy, humanity. We stick together, we win. I'll see you soon. Boo. Oh my God, guys, I can't believe how fast. I didn't even get to the other stories I wanted to story about. But that's why we'll have another show. We will have another show soon. During the week. Yeah. And in the meantime, you have time to tell your friends about the show. Right? That's what I want you all to do during this show, and maybe we'll have a show on Wednesday. We will have a show this week, Tuesday, Wednesday. We'll see. Maybe both. If we get patrons, I always get a little bit more optimistic, and makes me want to do another show when we get a patron. Right? So that helps. I'm going to have, you know what I talked about this before. I do have to update the page, but I also have to, I know there's a way to make like YouTube members or something. Maybe people would prefer that. I don't know. Maybe it would be easier too. If you're already here. Right? It might be easier for people to just become a member. I don't know. All right, guys. I'm going to go and just pretend that Kyrsten Sinema doesn't exist she doesn't exist in my dreams. So it's good. I need to get unconscious. Actually, I had this weird dream last night. Not about Sinema. I had a dream that my sister was becoming a sister wife. That she said she was converting to Mormonism and becoming a sister wife. And I was like, what? And then she also had taken, you remember the cats that I had here, the 2 kittens that I rescued off the street and socialized, Salty and Spicy. Salty is now named Louise, and Spicy is still named Spicy. And they live together in my friend's home. So my sister was becoming a sister wife. She was converting to Mormonism, and she stole Spicy from my friend. And I was like, you have Spicy too? What would Daddy say? That's what I said in my dream. What would Daddy say about this? I was trying to shame her into giving Spicy back. She took Spicy in my dream. My little Spicy kid. And poor Spicy. I wonder if Spicy dreams of me. Right? He's a good Spicy. He needs love, Spicy. He's getting it. We all need love. Vicky. Right, Vicky? I wish Vicky would understand that. That should be her faith. Just be a nice person, Vicky. Winston says, wow, that is a messed up dream, Tara. I wonder why. What was that about? I don't watch Sister Wives or anything like that. So it was just weird. My sister was becoming a sister wife and converting to Mormonism, and she stole spicy from my friend. It was weird. What does that mean? I know, right? A lot to unpack, Terry. It is. Native Americans believed, well, not all, but they believed that your dreams were, they were orders and, premonitions, but they were also instructions to go out and make happen. So they were marching orders. So anyway, not much I can do if my dream was about my sister becoming a sister wife. So that's not happening. Maybe it is. Wouldn't that be weird? Well, at least I said it. And then if it happens, I will report it. If I would be, stranger things have happened in life. Should we call and say, I'm becoming a sister wife, I'm converting to Mormonism? That would be that would be shocking, really. I would be shocked. But I would, whatever. Okay. Good luck. Have fun. Just give Spicy back. He's already got a home and he wants to be with his sister, Louise. Her name is Louise now. So it's Spicy and Louise. It's like Thelma and Louise. Not Salty and Louise. Thelma and Louise. All right. Guys, thank you so much again. And yeah, you know what to do. Tell your friends, all that stuff. And I really enjoy hanging out. So, and I really appreciate you all. So thank you. Thank you. And have a great rest of your weekend. Have a wonderful, wonderful Saturday and Sunday. Keep your chin up. Sinema sucks, but we still have the Senate. And she wants her committee assignments. So, don't worry about it. She's a bitch. She's always been that way. And, I don't know. They're saying she's going to split the vote. Will Democrats really vote for her? Fuck her. I don't think so. Anyway, we will see, but we will win. Yeah, Mark Kelly won in Arizona. Doesn't mean that, an actual Democrat who doesn't suck can't win. People voted for Sinema because she didn't run on being an obstructionist. That sucked. All right, whatever. I can't stand talking about her either. Just when I turned on the TV this morning when I woke up, I told you I watched Morning Joe, and I saw that. I was like, oh my God, what else is new? What else is new? She couldn't let the Democrats absorb or just bask in the victory for a minute, right? Yeah, look at me. Me. But all those cameras are over there. No, bring them here. Look at me. My green hair. Ugh. I'm bisexual and an independent. Whatever, lady. You're not that unique. You're basic. All right. That's the recap. All right, guys. Thank you so much. I do have it's because I have a hard time saying goodbye. But where's Junior? Tara? What are you doing over there? He's laying on the floor. All right. Guys. I will see you later. And, see you soon.